comes, we're heading out, hear the battle drums. Carrier drops in these war-torn grounds, the sky is filled with a deafening sound. Loadouts checked, our nerves are tight, it's chaos out there, but we're ready to fight. Outnumbered, outgunned, our ships torn asunder, canopy smashed, but we won't go under. There are too many and we're too few, is this fight too much for us to break through? In the fray, canopies gone as the swarm comes to play. Heal the world, systems start to fail. They're closing in fast, their strength prevails. Too many to count and far too strong. This might be the end, we may not have long. Outnumbered, outgunned, our ships torn asunder. Canopies smashed, but we won't go under. There are too many and we're too few. Is this fight too much for us to break through? The fire, a light breaks through. We look to each other, we know what to do. Training kicks in, we form our ranks. Together we stand, there's no turning back. Outnumbered, outgunned, our ships torn asunder. Canopy smashed, but we won't go under. There are too many and we're too few. Is this fight too much for us to break through?
Hello, Elite Dangerous Commanders and Pixel Starships Captains. Today we're doing something a little different. Rather than hunting aliens in the Pleiades or California Nebula. And we're going to be playing with what essentially is a mobile game for the most part, which I've been playing with on my phone during my recent business travels, but which I also kind of realized has a client available on Steam. And that you can connect the accounts and can play also between Steam and your mobile phone, which is nice when you are actually sitting at your desk. And what you see here is my Tech Level 9 Federation Starship, which I've been developing for, let's say, a couple of months at this point in time. And I'm currently, I think, ranked at a global number 4, I want to say. Yeah, global number 4. So pretty decent in the overall statistics of the game, which I think is proof enough that I have at least somewhat figured out how things work in this game, which is something I generally like to do before I talk about them in a live stream or on a video, because I like to have a general idea what I'm talking about. So here, you'll see I have 2 layouts set up for my ship. One is what I call train and one what I call combat. Like, one is basically a layout I use to train my pawns and to gather resources, and another one that I use when I actually want to engage into some serious combat. The second layout is unlocked with 100 Starbucks, which is a reasonable, I think, amount of Starbucks. Like 10 days worth of playing the game. You get like $10 per day just by completing free PvP matches. So in less than 2 weeks, you can get a second layout if that's what you want, or you can get it through some of the achievements in the game itself that rewards bucks to do a number of things that kind of happen more or less naturally during the game, which is, I guess, free-to-play friendly to a degree. So anyway, this is my training setup, and here you'll see basically my second crew, or most of my second crew, which I'm using to get better. Like, this is like one of my primary boarders, which is not particularly great, but it's better than most of my rest of my crew as far as boarding is concerned. So I'm training it for damage, but because it is already so high up in its training level, the training is going to go very slow. And this is instead part of my engineering crew that instead is trying to help me get my evasion as high as possible, up to the elusive number of 100% evasion, which will be quite nice. But again, it's going to take some time to get to. So like the next thing we're going to do here is like continue the training of these fellows and the engineering manual, which is one of the few trainings which is exclusive to engineering, which means you don't get any side unwanted stats, which again is quite nice. And Sometimes though you roll 0, like in this unlucky case, and then you just gotta roll again and hope that the next time around you don't roll 0. The higher you go with training, and the more likely you are to roll 0s. That's just how training works for pawns. But today, what I said we're going to do, and what we are going to do, is we're going to talk about the Photon Phaser. The Photon Phaser is a nifty choice of your small weapons platform, of which you basically have a choice. You can use the Photon Phaser, or you can instead use the minigun. And they're different weapons, and they serve different purposes. Generally speaking, the Photon Phaser is an anti-shield weapon, whereas the instead minigun is a weapon that is more skewed towards doing direct systems and hull damage. But the minigun is a bit of an odd weapon because it has a very long volley of like 80 shots and a very long reload time. So it's a bit funky, and I think most people will generally opt for the Photon Phaser instead of the minigun, if nothing else, also because the Photon Phaser is one of the best anti-shield weapons in the game. And consequently, it's a nice thing to have on your ship. Now, how do you set it up? First of all, how do you place it? Now, the Photon Phaser is, and let's do it on a combat build, so you're gonna see what it looks like on a more sort of like properly kitted ship. The Photon Phaser is a 2-power room, so it means it only has 2 power slots, and it's a 2x2 size room. And 2x2 size rooms with only 2 power are generally tricky because they're hard to armor properly. Like, in advanced or endgame builds, you generally want at least 4 units of armor, and ideally 6, around just about every single room. If you don't, chances are that that individual room is going to expose a vulnerability on your ship, and people are going to primary it, and you're going to die, or at least die sooner than your enemy. So positioning a Photon Pulsar is something that you need to think about in a situation where you can at least put 4 units of armor around it, which is, I would say, the bare minimum. Now, unlike some other 2-size rooms, like for example your oxygen room here, which can be directly targeted through artificial intelligence settings, the Photon Pulsar doesn't quite have a target setting that allows to target it directly, which means especially if you're attacking, it's somewhat safer to have this room with fewer armor or with fewer sandbags or bricks, which like the ones that I have here, because enemy AI won't automatically be able to target it unless they're using the very situational target random room kind of AI arrangement, which again is not all that common. So the other thing that you may want to consider is placing your Photon Pulsar next to your shield room, or at very least next to your shield booster room. And reason for that is because both the shield room and the Photon Pulsar room are boosted by the science support stat, which means you will want pawns that have science that can potentially be moving between one and the other. And we'll get to how this can work pretty well when we discuss pawn AI for the Photon Pulsar in a second. But let's discuss the AI of the room itself now, for the time being. Now, a lot of folks keep this easy and just have like set a maximum power and set a particular target room, or even set a remote like random room, and that's it. And that works okay, like with most weapon rooms. However, there is a much better way to configure the Photon Pulsar. And the better way to configure a Photon Pulsar is to set it so that if the enemy ship has no active shield, this command line here, you set it to remove target. What this command does is it basically sets the Photon Pulsar so that if the enemy ship shield is down, the Photon Pulsar will not shoot. The Photon Phaser will not shoot. It will instead hold its ammo charge until the shield comes up, and then it will immediately shoot. So it will use its basically shots against the target against which it does the most damage, which is shields, which is a very efficient way to use the Photon Phaser. In addition to this command, you may also want to set it so that the enemy shield room has HP above 0. You target the enemy shield room I target the enemy shield room with a phaser because I'm not targeting the shield room with just about anything else. So I know that this AI command ensures that this particular room is not going to get in the way of targeting of my other rooms that instead are targeting more important targets on an enemy ship. And then if the enemy shield room is not above 0 HP, that means the enemy shield room is either destroyed or is not present at all. Every now and then you do encounter a ship that has no shield room or has a shield room which is upgrading, and you want to consider those situations too. Then in that case, you just remove the target and set 0 power. You essentially depower the Photon Phaser and make it not target anything, which gets it out of the way and saves a 2 unit of power for something that is more useful against a ship that does not have any kind of shield. Regarding power, the enemy shield room does exist and is above 0% health. You set the maximum power, and for power management purposes, you may want to configure something like that. If your reactor has taken a significant amount of damage, you reduce its power, or in smaller ships, you may want to cut its power entirely. So this is the basic of how you set the AI for the room itself. Now, when it comes to the crew manning it, there's also some fancy considerations that pertain to how you can set pawns to work with the Photon Phaser and with the shield. Now, if you have a pawn which has a good amount of science stats, like for example, this Jill Mama with different equipment has a science stat of 10, which is quite nice, you'll want to use them to the best of their abilities. And having your shield recharge at the beginning of a fight is kind of useless because your shield is fully charged. And as a result, your pawn sitting in a shield room at the beginning of a fight does absolutely nothing for you. What it can do, however, is it can sit in the Photon Phaser room and make it charge more quickly. And that is viable, unlike just sitting in the shield room. By the way, I don't know why I'm missing a brick here. Why am I missing a brick here? I may have to reload the game. I'm missing bricks also in my engines room. There's something really odd. Like, it looks like I'm missing 10 bricks. I'll tell it to reload the game. And so, as I was mentioning, and my bricks are still not there, but what happened to all my bricks? Oh, maybe they need to be repaired. Oh, that's what happened. Okay. I got attacked, and so now they're back. Ha! I had a heart attack. Those are very expensive. I'm glad they are back. So now you see like the properly armored up rooms. So the science stat pawn, again, you will want to ideally move them between the Photon Phaser and your shield room so that they are useful when they matter the most. And the way you can do it is, again, with setting of your AI. Now, I have this Jill Mama in a bit of a weird setting because I use her as a repairer, and a combined repairer and science booster. So the first two commands are really pertaining to repairs. It basically says if a room is damaged, go repair it and keep repairing it until it has been fully fixed. That's what the first two commands accomplish. So you can ignore them if you just want a pawn that works your Photon Phaser and your shield. The other three commands instead are what matters for the behavior that we kind of want to observe. So basically the way I said it is, if any enemy room HP is below 50%, that is, I've done a significant amount of damage and chances are the shield is way down, I'm going to keep the pawn in my shield room entirely. At that point, I will rely on the Photon Phaser charging as much as possible on its own. Now, this is really something that is dependent on the shield recharge rate of your target. If your opponent has a really good shield, chances are you might actually want to eliminate this and make it instead just jump between the two commands below. In fact, that might not be a bad idea. Maybe I will just eliminate it and we'll just jump between these two. And then here are the two key commands. So if the enemy ship has no active shield, that is, the shield dropped, move your pawn to your shield room. However, if this AI command is not true, that is what happens, it goes to the next one, target the origin room. So what this is going to do in terms of AI is, if the shield is up, our Jill is going to sit in the Photon Phaser and improve the recharge by 28%, which is a lot, of the Photon Phaser when the shield is still up. When the shield drops, however, our Jill is going to run to a shield and it's gonna boost the recharge rate of our shield room, also by a significant amount of 28%. So basically, our Jill is gonna intelligently be moving between our Photon Phaser and the shield to make the most use of its stats on the area that matters the most. And hey guys, thanks for joining. Crazy Fish Studios. Hi, hey Crazy Fish. Crazy Fish Boy is a member of our Naughty by Nature fleet, and I'm glad that you could join us. Thank you for joining. This is a ship management game. This is a ship battle. This is many things. I'll show you a battle in a second. Blueprint to launch. I can't see chat. I wasn't paying attention because I was focused on the AI screen. But thank you for calling me out. Now I am seeing the chat. This is a mobile game. I don't know if it's necessarily all that similar to Clash of Clans, but yeah, there's similarities like in the same game. Single player, new Star Trek Voyager. Okay, well that's also an interesting game. Okay, allowed resource gathering and other plans for your ship, and it'd be more interesting. Yeah, there's a bunch of components that go into like what the potential of this game is. But I argue that there's actually a pretty fun gameplay loop once you settle thing. What was I mentioning that I wanted to show you? Oh, yeah, I'll show you a battle. I wanted to show you like this actual thing in action. I'm kind of curious as to who attacked me, where I lost, by the way, the battle. I lost against Green Gecko. Green Gecko is a good player, so I'm no shame in losing against Green Gecko. All right, so let's do a battle. Let's engage in PvP. Let's find another ship. Let's see what we got. Let's attack the first one that comes around, not your mom. So this is going to be a relatively easy battle. So I'm going to take down my laser blaster because we're not going to need it. And we're going to focus exclusively on what the Photon Pulsar is. The Photon Pulsar is this PP icon here. Note how now it's shooting because the shield is up. And note like how Jill is sitting in the Photon Phaser. Still up. Note that now the shield dropped and Jill moved to the shield room as it's boosting the shield. And as the shields come up, back out, she'll move back to the Photon Pulsar in case it stays up. And the Photon Pulsar is holding its shot until the shield is up. See, it's not shooting right now. And the shield is up and it fires its shot. This is the most efficient way I know how to run 39 seconds later. And we can see it also from the perspective of like the other side of the fight. I think I'm full here on materials and stuff. Let's do another one. Let's actually heal our crew. I think our crew needs some degree of healing. Yeah, like space Clash Royale. Yeah, it's like space Clash of Clans. I think, honestly, yeah, I don't know about Clash of Clans. I played that a long time ago and only for a little while. I do think that the strategy involved in this game, in Pixel Starships, is actually pretty sophisticated, and I like that. Is it a pay-to-win game? Yeah, sure. Like many mobile games, it is pay-to-win at the end of the day. Like, you can buy your way into, like, having tier 5 bricks that are essentially almost impossible to defeat. But even without paying, you can achieve some pretty good results if you invest in studying and learning how the game works and how to make a good build. And I am completely free to play in this game. I have not spent a single dollar in Pixel Starships. In fact, you know, like many games that work like this, I take a little bit of a challenge. Yeah, well, this battle was I mean, keep in mind, it's a mobile game, so battles are meant to go fast. So now we're fighting Sonoblader. Sonoblader is a better ship. Like, he's actually a pretty competitive player. So here, I'm going to actually start paying attention a little bit more because, like, we want to use our special abilities. Like, right here, we're attacking the engine. We're taking down the engine. There's 2 borders. These repairers are coming, but the engines are down. I lost my first border. But at this point, down 5% and actually now to 0. And this battle is actually 1 at this point in time. Like, the first 20 seconds of the battle, like, really set the tone whether you're going to win or lose depending on whether you can get an advantage. It's a little bit like chess, you know, like, once you get a serious advantage in chess, you have to really mess things up to kind of lose, right? And if you don't make mistakes, you note that we've taken some damage though. This was not a sort of like a slam dunk. This wasn't a sort of like complete steamroll, we won 5-0 kind of match. We did take some damage, and keep in mind that offenses are always easier than defenses. So we got 9 trophies, which is nice, a good number at this level. We got some trophies, and we took some damage. Actually, less than what our games show, because the server apparently decided that this battle was more in my favor than what actually was displayed in reality. Mine is just you attacking. I thought it was a real time opponent fighting back. No, it's not real time. The opponent is offline actually at the time you're playing, and then when you go offline, others can attack you. And then when you log back in, you're gonna see a replay, like for example the replay of Green Gecko, who actually managed to take me down. And you can have a revenge fight, but I'm actually not configured to take Green Gecko down in this current ship, so I could configure myself to get my 33 trophies back. Would it be worth it? I think it might be worth it. I just need to look up something, because I actually have some notes on how to fight different people. Like, Gecko is engine focused, and take some from reactor, which probably shoot reactors, or O2. Should we try and take him back? Let's actually watch the replay. We watch the replay and see how the replay went, and then we can decide if we can reconfigure ourselves and take those trophies back, which would be nice if we can. Like, let's see. So this, now I'm on this side of the screen because I'm defending, right? And this is, he's also a federal guy. He still has a pretty vulnerable O2 down here, and a pretty vulnerable Photon Phaser up here. So maybe we're gonna target those two things. My boarders tried to take on his engines, but his engines are armored up to oblivion. So that doesn't work as a strategy. It's working, but not quite. In the meanwhile, he is shooting my engines back here, and he is doing quite a bit of damage. Not quite yet, but he is doing damage. And then he has boarders in this reactor, boarded out, trying to take down my shield, defending, which eventually managed to take down my shield. But he is primarily shooting my engines. That's like the main focus that he has. And he did manage to take me down, but he took me down with only 7 HP left on the attack, which means it was a very, very, very close fight. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move our engines, like since we know that he's targeting engines, and we're going to adjust our strategy so that we're not boarding his engines, but we're boarding his O2 and his Photon Pulsar. And then we're gonna basically shoot his O2 and Photon Pulsar, and Photon Phaser. That's like, I always get mixed up on the thing. And that should allow us to win a defense, a revenge battle. So how do we do that? Well, let's move the engines to our most armored slots, which are here and here. If we do that, I'm also gonna remove my engine here. Did he board my engines? I can't remember if he boarded my engines or not. But anyway, things moving around are going to do nothing. So I'm going to remove this instead and move one of my armor blocks from here, because it's not shooting my hangar at all. So like, this goes here, armor up my engines. Now my engines are as fully armored as they can possibly be. These have 120% defense, which is a lot of defense. So these engines are really, really, really tanky. And my lasers are fine up there. Now, the next thing we need to do is we need to change the logic of our boarders, and then we can manually target with fighters. That's not an issue. But this we need to manually change so that we introduce a new command to say none, confirm, target, enemy, oxygen room, and then new command, and then copy this AI and post it on our other border as well, which is this guy. My boarders are not particularly good, but, you know, they're better than nothing. And boarding kind of, you know, is pretty powerful in its own right. Elite has ruined me as playing this kind of game. Yeah, Elite is amazing. Elite is a great game. All right, let's see if we can do this revenge now. So we set everything properly. I think so. All right, cool. Revenge. Where are we? Star log. 33 trophies are a lot, so I want those trophies back. And you get them all back if you win this revenge fight. So what we need to do though is we need to move our laser blaster. First we need to boost our hanger, and then we need our laser blaster and hanger to shoot the... Hold on. Oh. Already moved, so okay. I'm screwing this up. My guys went into the wrong thing, but it doesn't matter because the opening is down, 4 armor, and so we should be still good. But we're gonna power up things manually since he will like take 2 cities somehow. And actually pretty easily, my revenge battle. And we're almost done. Oh! With 20 hit points left. So this is the kind of balance that I want. Like if he attacks me and wins with 7 hit points, and I attack him back and I win with 20 hit points back, if we're both feds and start with the same amount of hit points, I call that a win in my book. Like when we yeah, no, it'd be great to have finally that update. I agree, SA16W. So we did take some damage because Gecko is hard. Gecko is a hardened target. So we did take some damage. And now what I'm gonna do is I need to remember to switch my things back to how they were, because that's not the sort of configuration you want to fight just about anybody in. So I'm gonna move these things back. Engine, and then I need to remove the target. This, by the way, I forgot to move this up. It added the command, but it added the command down at the bottom, which is why it didn't actually target the oxygen room. So, my mistake. Anyway, we're deleting that now. Same here. Delete. That was silly. Silly Mechan. So anyway, we now are repairing. And when you're repairing, you don't really want to fight some of the most competitive, hardest battles, because you obviously start at a disadvantage with fewer hit points, and it's going to take like some 10 to 15 minutes to fully repair the ship after you take this amount of damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap to our training setup, or training build, which instead can hit far more like accessible targets and typically doesn't take a lot of damage. So here, instead, we have mineral and gas storage, and what we do is we hit targets that have a high amount of resources to gather those resources and to improve our crew and to train more crew and to get more crew and basically to improve our ship overall. We do need to rearm after each setup, and my laser blaster is the one thing that takes a significant amount of time to recharge after each battle. So unless I'm fighting some target that I realize is harder than it looked from its trophy count, I will generally depower my laser blaster when I fight, as it saves me ammo and it saves me the ability to use the laser blaster for some of the harder fights where it matters more. Laser blaster is one of the highest DPS weapons you have on board, so like it's a pretty good weapon to use when it matters. So let's find some high resource targets. High resources I define as people who have above 100,000, like this guy Kurakami, and he's only 1,200 trophies, so this is going to be a super easy fight. Like anything short of like 3,000 trophies simply cannot scratch my ship. Note how I depower my laser blaster, boost my hanger with my captain, and then my turret has critical attack as a special effect, which does 10 hit points of damage instantaneously to anybody unlucky enough to be in the same room together with it, which in this case is nobody. I also don't know why I went to a mineral storage. I'll show you by sending him to the mineral storage and killing the spawn. Critical attack, gosh, this guy is elevator. And critical attack, boom, he's dead. And now it can proceed to attack the last one. These battles are very easy. By the time my stingers arrive, like the battle is essentially over. So this is my, and with 3 in a row, I also got 10 bucks. Also, I don't know why I only have 40 bucks. I used to have 50 bucks and now I got 10 bucks and I get 40. Something's weird. I'm missing like 20 bucks, but again, it's not the end of the world. So, and by the way, I have an available drone. Why do I have an available drone? Oh, because I didn't start my mining operation. So I started my mining operation on Mars. Your drones can be used to upgrade your ship, or they can be used to mine resources. resources that you gather can then be used to build improvements for your pawns, like helmets that gives you HP, or gunnery masks that give you some amount of weapon, which improves your weapons, and so on and so forth. Like, these are pretty slow to gather, so these take a while, but they do make your pawns better overall, so like it's worthwhile to do, especially if you're not upgrading anything that you need. I'm actually holding off on some upgrades until the next tournament. I think there's 2 days left. There's 1 day left. It's 1 day change, and I save surprises will handily win Diamond A, which is the sort of league I'm in. And after that happens, I will start a number of upgrades, which I've delayed until this league is over, including my hangar, which is actually still not at a maximum level, believe it or not. My shield booster, which is also not at maximum level, and these two are actually quite important. But when you're upgrading your hangar, you can't really fight competitively, so it's something I'm just waiting for the league to be over before I do. And then there are a number of other things I wanted to upgrade, but I can't even remember what they were. I think my academy, my academy also needs an upgrade. And then I don't know, I might consider playing around switching from my laser blaster to a pulse disruptor. There's some funkiness, and Crazy Fish, we should talk about it, because there's some funkiness with regards to the Photon Disruptor that through some confidential intelligence I wanna explore and see if we can make some good use of. Anyway, these are all my pawns. The one that has a double arrow like over the head, as you can see here, are basically the ones that are ready to upgrade, but you gotta pay gas to update them, and from level 20 onwards the amount of gas required is actually pretty significant. Like, this guy wants 600k gas to upgrade, which is not something I have on hand. So you have to do a few farming battles to pick up those resources in order to be able to upgrade your pawns. Otherwise it just doesn't work. That's something that's required. Now I will rearm my stingers, my bombs. This is ready to rush. If there's less than 5 minutes left on any given room rearm, it's free. Like, even though it shows a bucks cost, it will actually upgrade for free. It won't charge you the bucks cost, which is handy, as it allows you to battle more frequently than otherwise you wouldn't be able to. My ship was still damaged, but again, we're not gonna pick tough fights. Well, Gecko's back here. We're not gonna fight Gecko again. Definitely not in our training ship. Definitely not in our training ship. Do we want to fight him in our main ship? Maybe after we finished getting our... we saw how to beat him now, so we can beat him again. So Katesimus he's in our league. He's 3.8k, so if he's not a pushover. Like, this is something where I'm gonna leave my laser blaster on, because again, this guy got 3.8k, almost 4. He's not a pushover. I'm fighting him with my training build also, like so. Like, this is a significant disadvantage. Like, the difference to keep in mind between my training build and combat build is at the top left of the screen. Like, you can see 18%, which goes up to 43% evasion when compared to 88% evasion, so half as much evasion. And that's big in terms of how effective. But again, this build is sort of like powerful to take down Captain Kissos even without taking damage. Again, this build, like, the idea is you hit targets that you can take down without taking damage, because typically you're repairing at the same time. In this case, this guy didn't even match break my shield, so well in the clear. Well in the clear. Also, I'm not sure why I attacked this guy, because he didn't actually have a good amount of materials, but whatever. We got confused. Now let's rearm. I'm gonna take a moment for the crew to heal up. You can see from the green bars, the guys that are injured, the green bars are filling up. And then I'm gonna show you something on the next battle, which I think not a lot of people are all that familiar with. Also, probably doesn't matter that much, but it's interesting. And here we are. Let's see if anything else still recharging. The laser blast is gonna take 8 minutes, so we're just gonna leave it. And crew is still healing. With that, I do want to make sure that the crew is healed, because like fighting with a crew that hasn't healed up can be quite annoying. Alright, we're good now. See if we can find somebody who has a decent amount of resources. Not a lot. Try again. And every time you search for somebody, it charges you an amount of resources that depends on... Oh, Cedric. Cedric is it's good, but at this point Cedric is only worth 2 trophies for me, and he can do some damage, so again, it's really not worth it at this point. 90k and 150k, not great best, but like worthwhile. Okay, so this is not a terrible build. He has armor in layers, he has a good amount of armor around the key rooms. This is actually somebody who has a like better build than his, and he is like actually sending people to repair, but they got hit. So yeah, this build is better than the trophy count suggests. What was it? 2K or something? Yeah, no, this. Still, I don't think it's close to that, but I left my laser blaster on. Sign of respect. Battle, then that slows everything down, and it's like really not that great. But that's real again. See, now we're starting to kind of deplete our ammo on the laser blaster, which you know, if you don't pay attention to it, you'll find that at some point when you actually need it, you're running on completely dry, which is again annoying and something just that you need to pay attention to. Now, again, we're healing your crew. It's gonna take a moment before we can attack again. And again, we're attacking with less than total hull, which means we gotta be careful who we attack, because if we attack a fully competitive build of some of the top players with our training farming build without full HP, we are gonna lose, and that's gonna set us back all the way back to 0 HP, and that's obviously not something we want to happen. So let's again keep going now. Crew has healed, so we're ready to go at it again. Gecko's showing up again. Like you are first presented with people in your same league before, if you're exhausted your sort of in-league options, you're presented from targets outside of your league. Oh wow, this guy has almost 300,000 gas. We're taking him. And it's also not a terrible build. Like usually builds that have like that amount of gas are terribly configured. This guy has like a proper twin layer armor. No, this guy's build is not bad. I mean, this is upgrading shield booster, which has 2 armor, and shield booster is a huge weak spot. So I'm actually targeted because it's like vulnerable. His O2 instead is pretty well armored. Like he has 7 armor. More armored his O2, but he's put his shield booster in such a weak position that this is something that at the high end you just lose. You do something like this and have 2 armor room like just on its own hanging. That's not guaranteed to be primary. That you're guaranteed to lose. In this case, in 43 seconds. So. But thank you for sources. Appreciate them. And maybe now we can also upgrade a pawn or something. We kept our laser blaster on because again, we're finding targets that are not complete pushovers. And now we have 630k resources. We should be able to upgrade one of these pawns. Let's see if we have enough. No, so this guy wants 700. Let's do another fight. Again, we're waiting to heal our crew. And guys, if you have questions in the chat that I can answer for you while we do this, I'm very happy to try. Obviously, I don't have all the answers, but I've learned quite a bit about this game, so I'm happy to take a crack at answering any questions that you might have. So there, global chat. This is the market. For those who you are unfamiliar with the market, this is actually completely player driven. Although it's actually not that popular, honestly, right now. Like, price of silicon has skyrocketed recently since they made sandbags craftable with silicon. Like now it's hovering at 15 bucks each. It used to be like 4. So this has significantly changed. So there's really not a lot of activity on the player market right now. It's a very illiquid market, we should say. They're supposedly releasing an update soon to sort of like address the sandbag prices. Alright, this is Gecko again. Again, you will be presented from people in your league first, so until we take Gecko down, we're gonna see him again and again. Proto is also in my league, but Protos we can take down also with our training belts, so maybe we're gonna do that. Just to clear our backlog so it doesn't keep showing up again and again. Plus, you know, we're almost at the point where we've cleared our damage, and we should be able to take on again, this was really meant to be like a tutorial on the use of a presentation to begin with, which here again is working as intended, only firing when the shield is fully up. And this battle is almost won. Let's see if we can do it without taking damage though, which should be my hope. Very close. It was still significant. Good. Cleared another person in our league. Again, I am fighting at a little bit of a different sort of like level, if you want, of Diamond A in general. Like, if you look at the league, I'm leading the league with 6,500 and change trophies. And, I mean, everybody outside me and Gecko are below 5k trophies, so the difference is stark. Right? The difference is quite stark. Let's see, we're at 34. We have like time for another couple battles before we're fully healed and take Gecko on again, which will be fun. Since he attacked me, it's time for me to attack him. Not only did I get my trophies back from my revenge. Like, I don't know if we passed it already. Oh, it's too bad that you don't have a longer log. But we got our trophies back from revenge, and hopefully now we're gonna get some additional trophies from him if we manage to heal up and then take him down. We just need to make sure not to take damage in the next 2 fights or so, and then we can take him on. He's gonna show up again pretty quickly among unless somebody else took him down, which I don't think took him on. I have to take him down. I have to take him on. And, oh, there he is. Not now, Gecko. Soon. Not now. Very soon. Like 2 minutes from now. So, but let's see if we can take another like I say commander because I'm so used to it. Oh, Crazy Fish! Look, we got Crazy Fish here. Should we take Crazy Fish down with my training crew? Ooh, that's gutsy. That's probably a bad idea. We're gonna take damage if we do that. No, I'm gonna respect you, Crazy Fish. I'm not gonna attack you with my training build. That would be shameful. But I'll do it afterwards, after Gecko. Or if you show up before Gecko, I'll do it before Gecko. No, you won't show up before Gecko because you're not in my same league. Well, after we take Gecko down, I'll take you down with my combat build. I'll take you on my combat build. I'll take you down. Let's see. Alright, finally, somebody with some decent amount of resources. Alright, this is a total pushover build. This is something I turn my laser blaster on and I turn to the chat. Turn to you guys as this is bad battle. Essentially proceed in auto mode. Although maybe I will use my critical attack. And see plop the enemy pawn fall down. Well, my critical attack guy is about to attack himself. He did take one down, but he got ganked out like 3-on-1, and then that was a little too much for him. So maybe I haven't estimated this build. No, I haven't. Okay. Completely crazy. And you can tell people who are just not built for competitive builds, as they'll have underrated armor, they're not going to have cheaper amounts of armor around rooms. They're gonna have resource collectors that nobody uses at the high end. Like there's so many signals of a build not being competitive. All right, so we have enough ammo. We're not gonna be able to recharge this before taking Gecko on. We have 2 minutes left, so we can probably do one more. But we can also upgrade a pawn now, or we can actually shop for a pawn. Since we have our minerals that are full, might as well spend them. See what we roll. Jane, female citizens, a complete waste of human space on my ship. So she is getting out of the airlock. Oops. Wrong one. Out of the airlock you go. Bye. Actually, I have a few that I need to go out of the airlock. All of these guys are completely useless and out of the airlock. There you go. All the tier 1s, I'm essentially only keeping bartenders and receptionists because those are the 200 training pawns that are worth keeping and rolling and see how they roll. Right? And everything else is kind of a waste of space on your ship. So we're still repairing. We got one more hit point to go. All right, well we can do one more farming play. Gecko's right there. Nobody's attacking him because he's a really hardened target. Appreciate that. All right, and this time we're gonna change so that we actually attack O2 properly. Although it was pretty good even without attacking O2. In fact, it might have been better that way, maybe. But we're not target reactors if we don't do that. Alright, spear tip. This guy has tons of resources to go fast. So this guy, for example, has no armor at all. None! Let's take our laser blaster ammo. Like, if you have no armor at all, you're not gonna do well. Which is interesting in my mind, because like, how do you get ship level 9, like this guy, with things like, you know, a level 10 shield that big, and you've never put armor on your ship? How does that work? A question I'm wondering. Now we have 1 million gas, and I might as well spend it. So who do we have? We have a Jane here. Now she's a level 6 pilot, so I'm gonna pray that she rolls into pilot, because a level 7 pilot Jane receptionist would be really nice. But there's only so much of a chance to roll 7 pilot. Let's see. And we did not roll 7 pilot. So what do we pick? Dodge, stamina is useless for her. Biological damage distance, it's really a, you know, but 12% biological damage distance isn't gonna do anything. Dodge from 30% to 40% is gonna increase her survivability a little bit, so maybe we go dodge. All right, and then we have some leftover gas, 300k. I don't think it's enough to oh, it's enough to upgrade like one of these also. So let's do that, and then level 10 to 11 pawns can also go to. These cost basically nothing. And note how I'm selecting either research points or training points, as those are generated by upgrading pawns. Oh, and by the way, these guys are also ready to like update further. These are very, very slowly increasing my evade by improving my engines. But again, the training is very slow. It's like 1%, 0%, 1%. So it's gonna take a while before like they manage to hit their maximum training. And this is by design. 0%. So like free trainings, I got 1% out of free trainings. It's very slow. But you know, it's worth it. So, like, you're really trying to go for the maximum possible evade. This guy got his training in place, I think. No, I can't click on him. There you go. 0 and 0. Wow. 0, 0. That was 0. This guy instead we're training for damage. Alright, so we are full everything. So we're gonna switch to our combat build. And we're gonna find Gecko, but before we do that, we need to rearrange things so that again they are ready for Gecko. So, oh, by the way, I forgot to put my elevator back in place here, which is fine. And then AI, we're gonna move reactor above engine and close. AI, again, reactor above engine. Let's see if it's stuck, because sometimes AI doesn't stick for whatever reason. Reactor, yep, it did. Let's make sure that we've rearmed all, well, yeah, we did not rearm everything. Let's make sure we are fully ready for combat. And we don't have, there you go. These mods, sometimes like, modules sometimes get misplaced completely. Like for instance here, this, wow, this is just wrong. I gotta reload the game. Sometimes when you swap layouts, like things just get completely messed up. The game is still very much in early access. And 1 second. And now we've reloaded, and now we have still some 7. Oh, there you go. These, see, this is like, this is reloaded, but it still says I have like insane number of modules just hanging. And although it says that I reached the maximum module capacity, this is one of the many bugs in the game. Probably just have to restart the game and relaunch it and see if it works after I relaunch the game. It's actually not one of the worst bugs in the game, if you ask me, but it is annoying every now and then. You kind of gotta restart. Keep in mind, this is meant to like be designed as a mobile game. See, it says I still have like 7 barriers. Oh, resume has reached maximum module capacity, but it's not true because it's like it has like 1, and then it has reached its maximum module capacity. Why? Even though it's like it doesn't show as it's full. I guess move it around, see if it changes anything. But it's clearly missing like 2 bricks. And I'm not sure how to do it. I guess I'll have to remove the engine entirely and replace it manually. I don't have a better way to do it. If I can find where my engine went, that is. Where is my engine? Did my engine completely disappear? I can't find my engine. Maybe swatting it back and forth. My engine is still here. It was not removed at all. Alright, removed. Let's see if it actually shows up now. And it's still not showing up. Let's see if I can reload the game again. Unfortunately, when it starts doing this kind of stuff, it will keep doing this stuff. Do I make money off of YouTube? Well, it's a hobby. I make hobby money off of YouTube, not real money. But yes, I am a YouTube partner, and as a result, I do get paid for the content I create. And it's not something you could imagine living off of, though, I promise you. All right, so we finally managed to get our engine back and forth. So now we can place the bricks back in the engine, presumably. Great. And then we can place our pawns back into the actual engine. All right, and now we need to do the same for just about all the other pieces that are missing. Modules. Right. So 2 reactors. What else? Medium laser. Ooh. It's fine. This is frustrating. And where's the medium laser here? So why is my medium laser down here? It has 6 armor compared to up there. Mysteries. Yep, I know. Let's see if I can actually put our... See what else we're missing here. This guy. Let's see, I can put one here. Nope. I also have to remove this reactor. Oh gosh. I mean, I'm trying to progressively increase the amount of bricks I have in rooms, but ever since the sandbag prices skyrocketed, I haven't really been able to buy any. So, all right, finally, I think we made it. I think we're short the crew. This is not a trained crew. This is a trained crew. So weapon 7. This goes here. And I think we're good. Are still Starbits the 75 boost per packs? I don't know because I never bought any, so I can't really tell you. But I guess if you press the bank, it tells you. It says 200% first time bonus, something like that. Like, and the VIP club is like $9.99 on Steam. But if you buy it on mobile, it's like the first month is like $1 or something, and then you can actually have access through the VIP club on Steam as well. So buy it on mobile if you ever want to. It's interesting how the pricing differences work. Same thing on mobile, $1. On Steam, 10. 10 bucks. No, I never purchased Starbucks. I've never purchased. I'm completely free to play. As you can see, I've never had the VIP. I've never had anything. Like, I'm entirely and completely free to play. So what were we doing? We were looking for Gecko, right? We were trying to shoot Gecko, but before we wanted to shoot Gecko, we need to, again, confirm our borders are targeting reactors. So we have that. Confirm our engines are out of the way. We have that. And then the rest we can do manually. Well, let's take a reactor. All right, let's find... Oh, why is this guy... Ooh, we don't have enough minerals. Oh gosh, how do we get more minerals? We have to do a mission or something. Fear and Dread. Let's do a mission. Let's get enough minerals to fight. Like, can't have that. Like, I don't know how we managed to run out completely of minerals. It's probably related to the bugs that we're dealing with. These battles are NPC battles are super low level system right now, so like super easy. Enough to roll three ships, which should be enough to find Gecko, I think. If not, we just do a random battle. Oh, we got 200k. All right, we reloaded our things, rearm everything. I think we're fully ready to fight our friend Gecko. Let's go find him. Oh, we need to heal our crew. We're almost fully ready. Give it a second. That's almost done. Let's go. Oh, thank you, Fish. I appreciate it. Like, oh, there you are. I'm gonna hit you now, since you you just sent me 10 bucks. Thank you for that, and I'm gonna repay you by attacking your ship. That just popped up. It's like Destiny. It's like amazing. All right. Let's see where my border is. My border is the reactor, and it's getting killed by your turrets. I'm gonna move him into a shield booster. By the turret, but I'm down. Your reactor is weak down there, so I'm gonna hit that one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Shield should also be going down soon, and the other weapons will switch to that. That has 3 armor as well. And there we go. Your build is good, Fish. By the way, your build is good. Like, oh wait, no, you get to see like a live battle being played against them right now. Like, boom. And that was Battle with Fish. Now he got, thank you. Good game. Good game. And here we go. I wanted to hit Gecko though, and you came up first, so like we got you. Now the question is, can I hit Gecko when I'm down 6 HP? It's probably not a smart thing to do, so I probably shouldn't. So let's see if we can find somebody else to attack that wouldn't be. Alright, it's still kind of maybe decent. Well, now I have to kind of like. You did do some damage, Fish. Look at my ship. It's like limping along. Like I did take you down, but Gecko might be on cooldown. It depends. Like typically, for whatever reason, the first person that shows up isn't necessarily in your league, but the second one and the ones after are. Like, but sometimes it varies. Sometimes the first one, and it depends. I think on server sync and stuff like that. Let's see, rearm. Let's see if we can take somebody down without risking more hit points. This person has 3 trophies. I think they're pretty good, if I remember correctly. Should we do 3 trophies? But we take more damage doing 3 trophies. I want to find Gecko. If he's not on cooldown, otherwise we might take that guy down. No. One of the challenges of this pure combat build is it only has 20,000k storage for minerals, and each search costs 1. So you can only search 20 times before you actually have to pick a battle, otherwise you run out of minerals. And that's assuming you win it. Well, this is a gray at 2k. This is, again, too easy. Like, there's a balance between not losing health and doing something that is just outright too easy. Like, see by find somebody with like 6 or 7 trophies or something like that. But if not, we'll have to do a battle soon, because like we're running out of minerals pretty soon. Mikhail. Oh, no, he was 2.6k trophies. That would be a bit better. Like, this guy has so many minerals and materials. I'm gonna leave it for somebody else. This guy has none. Too few even for me. Ginja Ninja. Donut holes. Alright, let's hit donut holes. Right. Other things being equal, I prefer to hit people in our fleets so that we can get some trophies into our fleet. And we are one fleet in the game. Let's see. Here we boosted. Where is our guy? Alright. Down. This guy is taking damage though, so we gotta get him out of there. Maybe put him on a reactor. And this guy has a weapon, by the way, that actually does fire damage, which ends up hurting himself too, in addition to hurting others in the room. So it's kind of silly, but it can work. And here we go. I don't know if we took damage or not, but we are almost back into proper combat mode. Oh, I had some. No, I don't want to collect it. I'll keep that as like my reserve in case I ever need some additional minerals, which I might. Alright, let's rearm and restock our things here. And Gecko, is Gecko on cooldown? I don't know. Was he at 5.8? I can't remember. He was at 5.8 or where he was when we were looking for him earlier. It was in that general ballpark. So repairing, still repairing. We need 3 more minutes to repair the ship fully, so let's see if there's anybody else here. There's this guy. Again, I think he's pretty good, so I think we're gonna take damage, but since I can't find Gecko, I might as well hit his guy. Let's see, take a quick scan of what he's got, then boost our hangar, find our borders. Where's our borders? They're going to repair droid, critical repair droid. Yeah, this guy. Note how you can actually walk through one of those armor things. It's actually this guy's pretty quick. We might actually not take any damage. Just throw the shield up, and this guy's like half dead. So, why are we only 75% evasion? We should be higher than that. Oh, I know why we're at 75% evasion. Because we put the engines in that sort of Gecko configuration. If we put the engines back towards the back, we go back to 87, 88%. But we're hunting Gecko, so we're gonna keep them there for now. And note how like you can adjust your builds depending on where you expect to find somebody who you're familiar with. Now we're at 31 hit points. We're close enough that, you know, We ended the last battle with 7 hit points, right? So yeah, it's dangerous, dangerous. But let's see. Now we're still healing our crew. This guy's rearming. There are a few things I wanted to check. This is as desired. This is as desired. Everything else works as intended. All right. Let's see if we find somebody worth hitting. Oh, I pressed the wrong button, guys. I somehow managed to send me over to a completely unrelated screen. We're back. This guy is not who we're looking for. Let's see if we can find anybody else we look for. This guy has no resources or anything. Let's keep looking. This guy has 2 trophies at least. Should we hit one with 2 trophies? Like, as you can tell when you're like up this high, unless you find some of the top players on, everybody's worth like 1 trophy. Pretty much. Up 2 trophies is like already something rare to see. Well, let's try again. Nope. Now we have to hit somebody soon because we're running out of minerals. Nope. I'll try 3 more. If not, like we're at that, we'll hit who we need to hit in 3. Nope. I think, yes, somebody else might have hit Gecko. Alright, let's hit Millis so we don't run out of materials completely. And this is a super easy target, so we're gonna save our ammo on our laser blaster. Kind of play with like critical strike. Where is our board? Oh, there he is. Yeah. So our ship is behaving like this is the Photon Phaser sort of like AI that I was describing, which actually works intended with Jill boosting the shield weapon, anti-shield weapon when she's the shield is up, instead of your shield when the enemy shield is down. So this guy's down. Oh. Well, that's the thing. If you're like trying to hit somebody, like, you know, you gotta hit them when you see them, otherwise, you know, chances are somebody else may hit them and then they're gone for like up to 8 hours. Up to 8 hours, since that's how long your shield can last. There we go. Alright, now we're almost fully repaired, so if we see Gecko, we hit him, no question. We're at the point where it doesn't really matter anymore. That HP difference should be irrelevant at this time. But I really don't see any viable target at all. No. These are all 1 trophies, which are easy fights. For the most part, every now and then you find out 1 trophy with somebody who's been dropping their trophies for one reason or another, and you're like, huh, okay. This is like not exactly a 2000 trophy person. But you find C, who's like currently I think at around, I don't know, 5k or something, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you kind of fight him and you're like, this is not a 5k guy. But I know none of the people I've seen so far. I think everybody I know is on cooldown. 325! This is the kind of person you want to find with your farming setup. I kind of wish I was on the other setup. 320,000 mineral. Whoa. It's an amazing amount. Oh, this is one of our guys. So, like, I like fighting people in our fleet because it keeps trophies in our fleet. And by the way, it gives them a shield for, like, the least amount of trophies they can lose. Because they're, like, he's gonna lose just 1 trophy in this fight. And that 1 trophy is gonna stay within our fleet. And furthermore, he's gonna have a fight against me to study and learn on how he can ship. So like, there's a lot of good things about fighting. Some fleets I hear have like a policy that basically says that you don't hit fleet mates, but that kind of defeats. You know, that's wrong. It doesn't really help the fleet to not hit fleet mates. So there's value in the learning and in keeping the trophies inside your own fleet. So hit your own fleet mates, especially if they only lose one trophy from hitting them. Or if they are slated to lose a lot of trophies, what you can do is you can hit them, but then you can use your, if you're especially, I mean, I don't have my hyperdrive on my combat build. I have it on my farming build. And then you can basically use your hyperdrive to escape from the battle, which results in a draw, which means nobody gets trophies or loses trophies, but the person who was attacked still gets a shield. So you basically can give people a free shield at the price of one hyperspace charge, which again, if you're pretty close in terms of trophies, so you stand to lose like, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 trophies, then that could be something worthwhile to do. Let's see, this is again random people I don't know. Basically, I'm at a point where everybody who's worth like more than 10 trophies I would recognize by name in this phase. But all the random 1 trophies, like with 1,000 trophies to their name, I just don't recognize for the most part. Zoe, okay. Zoe, he's almost 5k, so he's almost at the esports level, but his build is actually not that good. So you'll see, we'll hit him. Like, his build is very, very vulnerable in engines. Like, he has like these 2 guys who basically get murdered in 2 nanoseconds order, as you will see in a second. And as soon as my border didn't make it through. He attacked my teleporter. Right, so my border didn't make it through. So I guess that has improved. But he has no sandbags and no actual reinforcements. He still moves like badly. Those engines are going down like in seconds. So even though this is not a build that's designed to fight him, a better build to fight him would have the engines in the rear, so it would have max evasion. He might still lose to 0. He might still lose without doing any damage. In fact, I don't think he's broken my shield. He just broke my shield. Like, he has 1 HP left. Like, boom. This is a clean kill of a 5k trophy build, which honestly you shouldn't get clean kills on 5k trophy builds. Like, his engines are just too vulnerable, as you have seen. And now we repair. But at least that was an interesting fight, because there was not a pushover build. Let's see if we can find some more decent fights. Right. And yo, crew. You're still hearing our crew. Like, this guy's still hearing up. I don't know why this guy got. Obviously, like, the engine people got hit. All right, cool. And now we're good. All right. Gecko, where are you? Somebody hit you, huh? How dare they take my target away? Let's see if we can find anybody else who's not worth 1 trophy. 2 trophies. Iron Fist. We can hit Iron Fist. Iron Fist is a 4k target. He's gonna go down very, very, very fast. Like, he's also like got engines that are like 2 armor blocks with no kind of reinforcement whatsoever. So this guy's gonna go faster, even down faster than even Zoe. Like, my border's gonna get there and then there rush to like the actual. Well, I'm actually targeting reactors, so all the wrong things. But in doing all the wrong things, I'm still kind of like gonna win. My guy. Oh, where did he go? I don't even know where the border is. One down there. Let's see. Where is my other border? Oh, there. He's in the other reactor. All right. And now we're completely clean. Sweet. thing is, it's like, sometimes it's hard. Like sometimes like, cause like if you target a room, and by the way, I need to tell them to go back to target engines. If you target a room, but I'm targeting reactors because actually, if I need Gecko, I want to target reactors. So never mind, I'll keep them on reactors. But reactors, there's 4 reactors on a ship, right? There's 3 small reactors, and then there's a fusion reactor. And if you target reactors, your borders might appear in any one random version of those rooms. So, like, sometimes you're like squinting and saying, "Where is my guy?" Alright, let's see if we can find somebody else who's worth some amount of trophies. Not this guy. So now I'm basically pulling people out of my actual competition league directly, which means every single person in my league is currently has a shield on. It's not available to be hit. Go figure. That what happens with some of the more higher leagues. And actually it does happen quite often. So now basically I could roll anybody. I could roll sort of number 1, or I could roll number 10,000 person. And yeah, there's not a lot of people who are worth more than 1 trophy when you're at 6.6k. And now again, we're kind of running out of minerals to do this. So I wish there was like a tiny mineral storage, like a 1 slot, like that would let me store, I don't know, 50k of minerals or something like that, which would let me roll these fights more than I can roll them just without any kind of mineral storage. Although I have to say, I think I have my bridge on this build, on my combat build. Do I have my bridge on? And honestly, I don't think my bridge without crew does absolutely anything, so I might replace it with a mineral storage. Alright, so this is the last one. I should fight him if I was wise, but I'm not. So I'm gonna take actually my bridge out. Which, I mean, if it says like, you know, bridge room significantly enhances free combat by improving all missiles occur on board, which by the way, I don't know if it applies to everything that uses sort of dodge mechanics or if it applies to just missiles. It's also, there's no statistic. There's escape as a statistic, which that doesn't work. It's like from PSS1, because in PSS1 your bridge actually helped with the escape chance, but here escape chance works differently because it's tied to hyperdrive charges. So I don't think escape charge does anything. So like, you know, improving escape chance, well, I don't know what it does. Support style of PLT, like I don't know. I don't think this room does much, or if it does something, it's not obvious in improving or changing the dodge chance. Like, as a result, you know what? We're gonna remove it, and we're gonna put in a mineral storage, so that at least we have some minerals, so that we don't have to go like one at a time. Now we have to pick the first person who rolls around. I hope it's not C, thankfully, because like that would have been tough. And there we go. And we are up here in the reactor. Fire. Sweet. I use the crit about that to kill this pirate. Down. And the reactor is completely down, and we're almost dead. We lost our pawn, but battle. Here we go. And now we actually have a decent amount of minerals, so we don't have to do like the 1 battle at a time thing. Although I don't necessarily like not having a bridge. I also wonder if I should use this to upgrade our warehouse. Maybe I should put our warehouse. And upgrade it while we have time. Actually, I don't have a drone right now, so maybe next time I get a drone. Our warehouse increases the material storage that you can carry. Alright, now we can search for more people without worrying that we're gonna run out of minerals instantaneously. So there's a quality of life benefit to it. Ooh, this guy. This guy from Vegacorp, he's 5.2k, but he's also pretty weak. I'm not sure I have any idea how to pronounce his name. But he also has some incredibly vulnerable engines in the back. So yeah, he's gonna go down too. Although we're targeting reactors, I think, with my borders. So that's border. Going here, but we're targeting. Alright, let's get out. We got shot. We lost our pawns, but again we won the battle. So this guy is actually shooting my engines, I think. But my engines have like so much armor before we take them down. So if you're entering primary this current configuration, yeah, you're gonna lose. Unless you have like some super whale, a crazy amount of crew, then maybe. But otherwise, you're just gonna lose. Still healing our crew, so give it a moment. Decent amount of ammo for a laser blaster, everything else looks in order. Still kind of targeting reactors with our borders. And engines with our guns and everything else. So a bit of a split targeting, which is generally a bad idea. But for what we're doing right now, it might not actually be that bad. Because you can always switch like guns manually if you need to. It's not ideal. Oh, Cedric. Now we can take Cedric on, because like now we're in a combat build. Like Cedric is a 4K that actually I think punches above his weight. Like his build, he's actually pretty good for 4K. Look at, he's got like T2 and even T3 bricks in his shield room. So like, he's got a good build. Better than 4K would suggest for where is my border? Setting this thing on fire. Oh, I don't know. I think I accidentally set it down. So, like, these guys are shooting down. These things here have like 6 armor. This has 4 armor. So I want to switch to like shooting with 4 armor. Faster and I think Cedric will end up doing something. I don't think they're going to walk away from this battle with no damage whatsoever. Especially because I think... But see, yes, he's done that. There you go. He's done almost 1 HP. Some damage. Most than just about anybody else except Gecko. I think so far, so that's good. Good build, Cedric. Well done. Now let's see if now we're already back, completely back healed. Now we're healing our crew. You can see from the green lines filling up. Our Jill Mama apparently is the most injured because this guy was shooting a shield and Jill was trying to repair the shield. That's why also the shield lasted so long, because Jill was actually repairing it. I was like, how is my shield lasting so long? Now I get it. Right. Shield was repairing the shield. Because Jill, in addition to being pretty good on science, has actually a decent amount of engineering. Like, has 6 engineering. It's a lot. It's a lot. Jill Mama is probably one of the best spawns, if not the best spawn overall, that you can get. And it's obvious as far as 3 stars are concerned. Okay, let's see if we can find again somebody who has more than 1 trophy. But now we have enough minerals that we don't need to worry that we're gonna run out of minerals, which is good. Recognize some of the names here. Flying Pig. I definitely do not recognize. Again, I'm not gonna recognize people who are like 1,000 trophies or the like, unless somehow there are people who I used to be in a league a while back, which might be the case, but none of these names ring any bell. MacTep. Ooh, MacTep actually did ring a bell. It was somebody I was fighting on my way up, actually. So I would have hit him just for the sake of reminiscing, but I was going too fast, so I skipped him. Let's see what we got. Matrix. Never heard. Keep going. Again, I'm looking for people who have more than one trophy available to me. I realize this battles are kind of pointless. Well, at that point, they're worth one trophy, which is not. But I also think these battles should be worth 0 trophies. There's like really nothing you should gain from hitting somebody who's like 4,000 trophies below you. It's like silly. Right. Oh, Snowflake. Okay, this is good. 11 trophies, 5.7k. Like, I think Snowflake is actually his trophies are inflated compared to the quality of his build. Like, he'll go down quick. You'll see. He might go down without any damage, by the way, whatsoever. Like, but we shall see. Oh, I don't know why he has 6 crew in his manual gas storage. Can someone explain that to me? Why does he have 6 crew there and 5 crew here? What is he doing with crew, like, in non-combat? I'm not sure what he's doing. He's shooting my reactor, and by the way, he got me down to take down SAM damage. He almost got 1 hit point damage. It's not insignificant. It was very different from like more competitive builds like the one Gecko has that we're looking for. Let's we are sort of repaired enough, like, again, we're 1 hit point down. But that's enough to kind of look for targets. Let's do that. Now, crew instead is completely limping, so that we need to wait until they heal, like, a moment. And then we'll take it from there. Our training round is almost done, so soon we'll switch to our farming build to, like, train up people who are in training. Where are my people in training here? These people are in training. But I had to remove them, so I had to... Did that cancel their training? I don't know what happened there. I might have canceled their training because I had to remove this because it bugged out. Yeah, that's disappointing. Like, I lost 150 training points, which is a lot. Alright, anyway. Now crew... Whoa, wrong button again. Anyway, crew is fixed. Ship is almost fixed. Let's see who we can find out here. Let's see. Note that I've basically hit just about anybody I could find that was worth more than a single trophy. But some of the toughest targets in the game have not shown up. Like, there's 3 or 4 people that give even me a hard time, which I may or may not be able to take down. But they're not. They haven't showed up yet. A couple of them are like super whale accounts that are like, you know, tier 3, tier 4 bricks. But a couple of them are not. Well, Palladio Savio, like, I don't think I remember fighting Palladio. Okay, this is gonna be a new build for me. I don't know what to expect here. Like, if I was wise, I would do a scan. I would pay with $2, but it's more interesting to fight without doing that. Let's see. Like, his engines are really heavily armored. Oh wow, this guy got really high-end bricks. And he's got lots of crew in the engines. Should I... But we're targeting reactors, which is good. For once, it's good that we're targeting reactors. So we're not actually going to... Border is getting pummeled. Move our border out of the way. Border, music kind of swapped to something that likes not my music. Reactor is down. Most of my board. Yep, this is our complete clean sweep. But Gecko remains nowhere to be found. Let's keep looking. Well, not yet, because again, we need to heal our crew. Like, right now I have 4 total drones, which generally means I stick to Salt for mining, because I'm kind of lazy not traveling around the solar system, which takes time. There's 4 mining spots in Sol, and they have pretty good enough materials for me, so I just stick to Sol when I'm mining. If I get a 5th drone and I'll be mining with all 5 drones, maybe I'll be moving around, but since I don't do that, I'm sticking to Sol for now. Right, now we have our training completed, so like we should. These trainings got cancelled, unfortunately, again when I had to remove my engine room, which is incredibly annoying. To lose 150 training points to a bug, but it's fine. It's not the end of the world. The thing is, you gotta promote our pawns to generate training points to then spend on the pawns that you want to improve, and then you roll 0-0, like in this case, so we don't improve at all. So yeah, there's lots of training points that need to be spent on training pawns. And the thing is, if you switch layouts, you can keep training these pawns even though you don't have an academy on board, which is handy. Just like you don't really need a research room on board to do research, as you can start the research and then from the panel here, like even without the research lab on board, which I think is a bug, but who knows, maybe it's intended. Okay, so now did we heal our crew? I think so. Yes, so now let's see if we can find another decent target for us. That's worth more than a few. This guy's JT. He's got a good build. He might also do some damage. He's 1.1k. I can't remember what he targets though. But what are we targeting? We're targeting reactors. Is reactor focus good against this guy? I think engine focus is better, to be honest. But even reactor focus might be good. Yeah, this guy's coming up. And I got his... Now this guy is fighting both the fire and my pawn. Die. Now the reactor, so it does some damage. But this guy's fighting again. So this is like micro. This is the micro outfit. You can micromanage it to a degree, and you can do a little bit better than like if AI was doing it on its own. Sometimes AI does better than your micro does, though. Like so, like you kind of need to take into account whether you want to switch to manual or whether you want to let AI do its thing. I'm gonna say 90% of the time it's better to let AI do its thing, but if you really know what you're doing, with micro management, you might get a little bit better results than just letting the AI do its thing. It's not easy though. So we got JT. Now we're healing our crew again. Like the engine guys got some damage. These guys keep getting hit, the engine people here. It's not a good position to be in, I guess. Alright, I think we're healed. Almost. Our guy here is still healing. And he's healed. Now we can go. Let's see what we can roll. So Barsikia is below 4k. I usually clear Barsikia without losing any hit points, but you never know. Sometimes people make things up. He does have some decent crew and engines, so I think it's actually a pretty good thing that we are targeting reactors on this configuration of pawns, as engines actually have quite the opposition up there. Alright, his pawn is... Where is he going? I don't know. Well, we got that guy there. So, this battle is won. This guy's taking damage from his own fire. Just gonna move him to, like, survive. That's just easy. Much easier. easy on the spot. Alright, let's do a couple more. See if we can find some harder targets showing up. And like, it really depends like on, you know, who just logged off and who just shield expired. Like, whoever you find, anybody who's tricky to fight or not. Let's see. This is like low rank. Never heard of this guy. Never heard of this guy. Also never heard of this guy. Like, some fleets I have heard of, but some of these fleets are kind of big fleets that have a lot of people, many of which like may or may not be active players. Like, even in our own fleet, not everybody's active. In fact, I want to say most of our fleet members actually right now are inactive. So Zari, 4.2k, free trophies. I think I saw his name, but I don't remember his build, so I'm actually quite curious. This is another fighter I'm not familiar with. Oh gosh, this is a bad build. Yeah. Ooh, I managed to like click on the wrong screen again, so I was probably talking to myself for a little moment there. Let's see what else we got here. Again, we're searching for people who have more than one trophy, at least. I think this will be the last battle for my stream. Nope. Nothing too interesting. Sneaky Pete, I know. His build is also pretty good for his level, actually. Le Croissant I've hit a few times, but again, very much lower level than me. New Arcadia. Like, that I never heard. Pixels of War is a fleet I know, but I know that guy. Random person without a fleet. Nate, never heard of him. Nor his fleet. Never heard of this guy. That guy has no resources whatsoever. I'm kind of almost curious to hit him just to see what his ship looks like. And this guy has 330k. From nothing to like some of the most I've ever seen. Like, I think the most I've ever seen, I can remember it was like very high 300s, almost 400k. But you don't see a lot of those. Jago is one of our guys. Not very active, but he's around. Never heard of Dandro. Let's see if we can find anybody else. Donkey, I've seen, but I don't think I ever fought him. Truman. So Truman is in my league, and he's like number 3 in my league. But we're very far apart now, so he's not worth a lot of trophies. And again, this would be a relatively quick fight. But his build is a lot better than most of us. Kudos to Truman because he's got a good build. And I usually go against him with like engine focus, but this time I engine focus. So let's see if we can move out of the way before my fire, which I somehow managed to do. Pulsar. His engine down. This was a clean kill. Yep, no damage. This was like the guy. As I said, you know, don't be, don't be fooled by taking him down so quickly with no damage taking. His build is actually pretty good, and I think it wrecked most people actually. Rearm most things, repairing, getting our healing up. Our crew, which is almost done. I think it's all done now. No, it's 3 more still healing. So the 3 still healing. Maybe they'll heal now? 1 still healing. Alright. Well, I don't know who's still healing, but we're gonna go anyway. Let's see who we got. Again, we can recognize some names. Nope. This looks like a Cyrillic name I don't recognize. Kai. Kai I used to fight a lot when I was ship level 7. Nice, pretty good for his level. Valkyrie. Valkyrie from Pirates. Pirates is Missile Mike's fleet, and it's pretty good. It's one of the more active fleets. So let's take Valkyrie on. See how it goes. Valkyrie I haven't fought in a while, and wow, okay, it's pretty bad. So I'm gonna immediately target his AA, because the AA has no armor whatsoever, and neither does his Photon Phaser. Photon Phaser at least has some damage. But with no armor, this guy is just gonna get absolutely slaughtered. He is doing some damage. I called the fight too early. What is he targeting? He's targeting my... He did 2 hit points of damage. More than I thought he would. Right. I wrote him off too quickly. Well, it was not as low as his trophy ranking would have suggested. Did more like 1 hit point after like a server check. Alright. This is all armed. Let's see. We're healing up our guys. I think we're mostly healed. Our ship is not healed, but we can fight with 1 hit point down. If we lose a battle by 1 hit point, we've done against anyone but the biggest guys, we've done something really wrong on offense. Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny is one of our top guys. Used to be. Like, I think he was #1 for a while last season. Like, now, I think with the recent meta, his build has dropped off a lot. And he makes for an easy target. He makes for a very easy target. Where is my... this guy, I need to move before the turrets kill him. Set this thing on fire, so, like, now our hangar. Rest on these. Which I normally don't do, but this time. For whatever reason, his crew is set to remain fixed. He's basically dead. I'm surprised. I think Bugs. I don't know if Bugs changed up something or like. His build was pretty more competitive. Another thing is he hasn't really adjusted since they made changes to how fighters work, them being subject to evasion. So now we are at full minerals, actually, believe it or not. Like, even though we're not farming for minerals, we did manage to get full minerals. So let's grab some crew, see what we roll. We rolled another bartender. We like bartenders. We keep bartenders. And we roll bartenders and see what happens with bartenders. May always be surprised. Bartenders can always surprise you. Still healing our crew. I don't know how bad it is, but let's see. Well, our boarders are still healing. Our boarders you really want to heal, because like boarders are the ones that take the brunt of the damage. I wish I had better ninjas. My ninja's pretty bad. Second ninja, if and when I roll a second ninja. Ooh, now this guy, I think it's a Taiwan flag. I have some notes about, because he is really good. Chinese name. He laser focuses no borders, and his O2 and reactors at the top are vulnerable. But he laser focuses, so we gotta swap and put our lasers in position to be kind of like the highest armored pieces of the universe, which is where we have him here. Is there a way I can close this up further? Maybe put it here, even though it has only 5 armor. Not ideal, but it'll keep borders out of the way. This should do a trick. 1, 2, 3. This is all boarded up. So now we have laser focus protected, and his O2 and reactors are vulnerable. So we need to tell our borders to this. We have to target reactors up top. Let's target his AA. Let's see if he's changed that up, because that was really the most vulnerable part of his ship. Target enemy anti-aircraft room. Done. And then copy this AI and paste it on my second border too. Now, normally you would use more than 2 borders. I only use 2, but like you would want to normally use more than 2. And now let's see if we can roll this guy again. From the Happy Friday fleet. Typically I roll him relatively quickly if he's around, because we're closer to in trophies than just about anybody else. So there he is. 10 trophies. Alright, let's go. This I have to pay attention and focus from on. Because like his AI is still very vulnerable, as his O2. So like this is gonna be a close fight. Gonna be a close fight. We got him. Problem is, now we are targeting the wrong freaking thing. The right thing. And now we can shut down. We can shut down his reactor. We can shut down his reactor. That should get his evasion down quite a bit also. And if we get his evasion down, then we kind of won the fight. Yeah. This is not easy. This was a pretty challenging battle. Whew. It's not over yet, by the way. Done. 19 hit points left. But this you have to prepare for. Kind of have notes on your target ships if you want to take them on, because again, if I hadn't switched around my lasers and whatnot, this battle would have gone differently. Alright folks, and with this more interesting, I want to say, at least I thought it was interesting, battle, this concludes the first live stream that I did with Pixel Starships 2. It's a cool little mobile game which is improving quite a bit, and it still has its bugs, but as you can see, there's, I think, a pretty fun gameplay loop at its core. So you might want to try it. Go to Mankind. Go on to Mechan. Out.